Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for October 19th, 2018. Hope you're all having an excellent week in the financial markets, and as always, plenty of opportunities to cover. We're going to start here with Home Depot. We've got Cintas Corporation, we've got JetBlue, DR Horton, and also Pulte Homes, so a couple of home builders to round things out. But starting here with Home Depot, what we have here are daily bars and candles. This is the price data you can see going back all the way to the end period of September here. So it's about September 22nd. We get this crossover to the downside. And what this means is very important to understand. This is actually a predicted values that are generated. So the black line that you see on the chart, that is what's called an actual simple moving average. So no real prediction there. It just lets you know where the market's been over a given period of time. But what we're able to compare that to is that blue value that you see on the chart. That is VantagePoint's proprietary predicted moving average. So it's actually looking at future prices and incorporating that into this predictive moving average to let you know the overall trend direction of the market. So, we've seen so many crossovers coming to the downside here with these predicted moving average moving below the actual moving average. And there's really more to this overall forecast. We have a predicted range that's provided before every trading day. Really at the previous night around 6 p.m. before that trading day occurs, you're going to have a predicted range. And there's also this predictive neural index, which you can see this indicator goes from a green to a red. This is a highly accurate 48-hour indicator. So important to understand, it's only looking ahead 2 days at a time to let you know when that short-term strength or weakness may be coming into the market, so you can adjust that position. And so this all works together. So you understand that, okay, well, we're seeing weakness in the S&P. We're seeing a lot of crossovers moving to the downside. If you want to go ahead and short Home Depot, well, look to initiate those short positions, but look towards those guides of those predicted ranges, that predicted high and low, which these are the actual predictions against the trading day before it occurred. So you see here how there's no trading day in that shadow candle there, but as this market's trading, it's saying, look, you want to short up at these price levels, up at these levels. So you know that, look, I've got my objective. I'm going to go ahead and get short. But then every day you've got that updated game plan of, where exactly do you want to look to short the market? Where should you be looking intraday to take profit at these predicted low levels? But of course, remain short and take advantage of, again, all this market weakness that we're seeing. So you see here, in shares of Home Depot, just over the past, 4 or 5 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 entries, all to the downside, but really great entries where that market doesn't push very far against you at all and continues as those predicted moving averages go lower and lower. So just a huge opportunity here in Home Depot and really just a great time to be getting short the market. For the past month here, we've just seen so many of these crossovers come through. This market alone down 11 to 12%, depending on, shorting at those predicted highs in just the past 17 trading days. So just about 3 going into the 4th week of trading in shares of Home Depot. See about 8 or 9 trades there that you can get involved in. Cintas here. So again, more of this to the downside. There's really very few opportunities aside from, we talked about ABX and little areas here and there, but overwhelmingly there's market weakness, and that suggests, position that portfolio to the short side. Here in Cintas, you see you get this crossover just like that last example to the downside. Neural index at a 0, but sometimes it will pop up and you see that you get some sideways action. You get some sort of, higher highs coming in over the couple days after those signals come through. But the trend is still very much to the downside. So you can understand and say, okay, well, hold on to this position. We may run sideways for a bit, but again, same logic of, you want to be shorting at these levels. And as long as that blue line, that predicted moving average remains, in this case, below the black line, the actual moving average, you want to keep shorting that position. So you see here about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 entries here as this market now trading at lows once again. We'll go ahead, go back to that predicted moving average and see where we're at over the course of the last month here. But all over the market, and this is really the big thing is there's, over the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks in the market, there's not a lot of money to be made to the upside. You have to be taking short positions or otherwise really just get out of the way would be, probably the most logical thing to do here. But you see 13% to the downside. So if you go ahead and buy put options, short up at those predicted highs, understanding that, you can go ahead, set up your risk reward. And as long as that trend continues to the downside, you're making a lot of money while you see this volatility in the marketplace. Here in JetBlue, so we talked about actually the up move in a lot of the airliners, but now they've all turned lower here. So you see JetBlue cross to the downside, neural index at a 0 here. You see this 48-hour indicator gets bullish, and you get some high highs that pop up just for a very short period of time. But look at the distance between that blue, that predicted moving average, and the actual moving average, suggesting, look, remain short here. And you see, the weakness in the S&P has only been here for, a week going into its second week here. But a lot of these markets were turning lower before that. So before you really saw that weakness in the index, a lot of weakness on individual shares and entire sectors throughout the market. So you see it in this sector of airliners. You can see the same thing. Home Depot and Cintas obviously turning lower. But now we'll look at the home builders, and you see a very similar situation here. But here in these shares of JetBlue and, conversely, all the airliners that had done fairly well, Southwest, Delta Airlines, all these now pulling back. You see about 14% move lower in shares of JetBlue, and you can identify one of those areas, use your predicted levels, and make sure that you're coming in and using those to guide you as you short this market over this huge decline of about 14%. So really, to round this out today, we'll take a look at the home builders here. And really great opportunities, again, when you understand, when you see all the, just like the airliners, all turning lower. Home builders, the same thing. These started to get weak a long time ago, though. You see here really at the beginning of September. And had you been shorting these shares, you see as that weakness really comes into the equity space, these are really going to do well, and that trend's really going to pick up as there's overall equity weakness here. But again, we can pull up these predicted highs and lows, and you see how, even over the course of this long period of time, which has now been a month and a half, in shares of DR Horton, these levels are updating every single day. So for this past month, you've had this guide letting you know that, okay, well, the trend is to the downside. I know I want to be short. Where should I be looking to set those short positions? And you see overall for a short-term trader, longer-term swing trader, that's what you want to be doing. Definitely go ahead shorting, the sector. There's ETFs that follow the home builders, but recognizing this very bearish condition that we're seeing in not only equities, but some of these shares with the home builders, you see about down 16%. Pulte, very similar situation. So when you run these scans and see, similar stocks, moving to the downside or moving to the upside at the same time, makes it very apparent of which sector is likely to see that weakness. And you see Pulte, same thing. Suggesting, look, you want to go ahead and get short, but as this trade rolls forward, look towards those levels of where you want to actually set those short positions and make sure that you're getting the best price possible, being as efficient as possible with that trading strategy that you're trying to execute. And you see here just multiple entry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 shorts there as this market, bottoms out, finds new lows, and that trend to the downside continues, again, with that overall weakness. So, this is why it's so important. You run into periods of the market where, you just see a lot of these markets start to turn lower and go into these downtrends. And you understand that, you need to be getting short or tightening up your stops on your long positions and avoid a lot of this market weakness we've seen. Shares here at Pulte, it's only been, a month and a half here. These shares are down 20%, almost $6 per share in a very short period of time. So definitely want to go ahead and get out of the way, but also make some money by buying put options or shorting the shares, doing whatever you got to do. But understanding that when that weakness comes through, see it in, these sectors and these individual markets, and go in there and, again, be very efficient as those trades roll forward with the help of these updated forecasts. So as always, guys, really exciting opportunities out there in the markets. A lot of things moving around, definitely opens up really nice trades. But once again, this has been our Hot Stocks Outlook for October 19th, 2018. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck. Thanks again, and bye for now.